What if love could be turned off? No heartbreak. No jealousy. No pain. Today, we're diving into a world where humanity finally learned how to silence the strongest emotion it ever had. It wasn't a bomb or a plague that changed the world. It was a choice. A single, silent decision made in the quiet of a sterile room. It began as a medical miracle, hailed as the end of suffering. Dr. Reese Thorne, a neuroscientist haunted by a past heartbreak, called it effective regulation therapy. The public just called it the switch. Initially, it was a lifeline for the shattered widows lost in grief, soldiers scarred by loss, souls drowning in the agony of unrequited love. The procedure was simple. A small implant, a soft blue light, and then, quiet. The knot in your chest loosens. The memories remain, but the sting is gone. They become like faded photographs of someone you used to know. At first, the world celebrated. Divorce rates plummeted. Not because people stayed together, but because they could separate without the mess. Custody battles became logistical negotiations. Breakups were as simple as canceling a subscription. People started using the switch for smaller things. Fear of rejection before a first date. Flip the switch. Annoyed with your partner's habits. Flip the switch. It was the ultimate life hack. Convenience became our new god. My friend, Liam. He was one of the first. He'd just gone through a brutal breakup with Sarah, the love of his life. He said he couldn't breathe. A week after the procedure, I met him for coffee. He seemed lighter. He told me, "It's incredible. I remember I loved her, but I don't feel it. The pain is just gone." He smiled, but his eyes were empty. He was a ghost living in his own life. Soon, the switch wasn't just for ending pain, it was for preventing it. Parents, wanting to spare their children from future heartbreak, had them fitted with the implant at birth. Lovers exchanged vows and then scheduled appointments to turn love off, preserving their relationship as a stable, predictable partnership. They called it sustainable companionship. There was no passion, but there was no conflict either. Homes became silent, playgrounds grew quiet, the laughter of children, that pure and bridal joy born from attachment, faded into polite, muted interactions. Society restructured itself around this new, painless existence. Art withered, music lost its soul. The epic love stories that had defined generations were now seen as cautionary tales of an emotionally primitive past. Why would anyone choose to feel so deeply when they could simply not? We had engineered the perfect, efficient world, a world without jealousy, without obsession, without the madness of love, world without connection. The first crack appeared in the data. Global productivity, once soaring, began to stagnate, then decline. Innovation stalled. People who felt nothing had no reason to strive for anything. What was the point of creating a masterpiece if you couldn't feel pride? What was the purpose of discovery if you couldn't feel wonder? We had traded our greatest motivator for peace of mind. Then came the echoes. People who had flipped the switch started reporting glitches, a phantom ache in their chest when they saw an old couple holding hands, a sudden, sharp intake of breath when a forgotten song played on the radio. Doctors called it post-effective sensory residue, but people knew what it was. It was the ghost of love, rattling its chains. The peak of our collective nightmare came on what they now call the Day of Silence. A global network error caused millions of implants to malfunction simultaneously, not turning love back on, but deepening the void. A wave of profound, inexplicable emptiness washed over the planet. Not sadness, not grief, but a total absence of meaning. People stopped in the middle of the street, staring into nothing. The hum of the city died. In that deafening silence, humanity collectively understood what it had lost. It wasn't just pain we had turned off. We had turned off the very thing that made us human. We had thought love was a weakness, a chaotic, unpredictable force that brought as much pain as it did joy. We tried to control it, to tame it, to fall it down into something manageable. But we were wrong. Love isn't the opposite of pain. It's the reason the pain matters. It's the light that gives the shadows their shape. Now, a quiet rebellion is brewing. People are seeking out black market surgeons to have their implants removed, a process far riskier than putting them in. They are choosing to feel again, knowing the cost. They are choosing to risk heartbreak for a chance at connection. They are learning to love again, clumsily, imperfectly, but fiercely. We are rediscovering the beauty in the mess, the strength in vulnerability. We are remembering that a heart that can break is a heart that can live. If you could turn love off, would you? Or is the pain proof that it was real? Tell me, what would you choose? I'll be reading the comments.